Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me. It's still freaking me. Yeah. Can you hear me okay? 5 by 5. I was just on with Kate Dolly and we had an issue with the sound, but I hope you guys and girls can hear me okay. Anyway, guys, we do have to talk a lot of stuff to cover here, and I got to do it in a short period of time because I am going freaking drag racing right after this. I'll be at Bradenton Motorsports Park. If you happen to be there, come on by. I got a T-shirt for you. Thank you, JH. I appreciate it. So anyway, Thursday, did I say that? December 19th, 2024. I almost don't know where to start, but maybe we'll do this. People, you and I realize something, a few things. I mean, you got to be clear on this. First of all, they're not done. You and I have discussed multiple times how real or imagined they must create events to occur to allow the system to inflate, period, the freaking end. That means currency devaluation, obviously, a wrecking ball for the economy. Few things are in their back pocket here. War, obviously. Scamdemics, another one. We've been hearing a lot about polio. All right. That might be a little bit down the line, but immediately a state of emergency has now been declared, excuse me, in California. Now, I want you to pay attention to something. We already know their playbook. They have to tell you first what they're going to do. For example, becoming the crypto capital of the world. Okay. You know that what I'm talking about here. Now, let's go over this. So, bird flu state of emergency declared, and millions of vax will be available. We have to be very careful what we say. So, California declares a state of emergency as new severe bird flu case was discovered. Now, this is today, June 3rd of this year. This is the date. This came out. You also make millions of bird flu vaccines this summer. They told you this was coming. They told you it was coming. Did you pay attention? I don't know. Now, New Jersey's largest hospital system is now mandating masks again. Masks are again mandatory for visitors of the largest hospital system in New Jersey. Very interesting. So, a couple of things. So, be ready. They knew this is a setup. Quite obviously, this is June. This is where we are now. Surprise? Anyone here? Absolutely not. This is not a surprise. Now, I want to talk about a couple of other things just real quick. People, what we're going to see moving forward, I've been telling you this forever, man. A new phase of hyper debt, more so than you can possibly imagine. Now, we understand we're about to face a government shutdown. They can't get their act together. We can't have a budget. They keep kicking the can down the road, a stopgap measure. The reason for this is very simple. They can't limit debt spending. They must participate in the game. The game is to allow the central banks to inflate. Now, our loving, caring representatives, they just seem to never be able to get it together. And so they do a stopgap. But what they can't tell you is we can't have a budget because it would limit spending. What would make who supplies the funds for all this spending? It's, of course, the Federal Reserve. And they are more than happy to lend. What the Federal Reserve wants is access to unfettered ballooning of the debt. Now, I understand this debt ceiling thing. It makes us the laughing stock of the world, and we are the United States here. Our caring representatives, we know what they're really all about. And we understand that they can't have a balanced budget because it would limit spending. It can't be limited. It must be unlimited. So why not just abolish the debt ceiling altogether? I personally feel, although they just continue to kick the can down the road over and over and over again, this is a very bad idea. Because just imagine allowing our loving, caring representatives unfettered access to do anything they want. In other words, when these things come up, like it's happening now, we focus on it. We get to see the arguments back and forth. There won't be any arguments. If we were to abolish this, the debt ceiling, as Trump is calling for right now, it would allow the debt to balloon beyond your wildest dreams right in front of your face. You're not even going to pay attention to because you expect it. At least the dog and pony show that goes on during the debate, whether they're going to do it or not. And of course they do, of course, because they have to. You have to understand it must happen. Let me read something to you. I sent this to you earlier. I wrote, Lions, it's over. We're about to see a rapid hyper debt nightmare situation. I said, Lions, for years, I've explained how we would see debt continue to skyrocket. Pretty obvious. What appears will happen is a new paradigm of hyper debt. A new paradigm of hyper debt beyond your wildest nightmares. Sound familiar? Because I've been explaining this is going to happen to you for a very long time, along with massive currency devaluation. Understand, the higher the debt goes, the more bills must be created out of nothing and put into circulation, whether it's on a digital screen or they're actually printed. Every bill that's created out of nothing or added to a digital screen is not automatically worth $1. It has to steal a fraction of 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 purchasing power from every other existing bill. If we were to abolish this, as our illustrious one wants us to do here, it would give them unfettered access to help the Fed do whatever it wants. And that's exactly what is going to happen. Period. You know that's going to happen. Now, I go on to say, for over a decade, I have said, quote, the more debt a central bank is allowed to issue or is called upon to create, the stronger they become. Nothing would make the Fed happier than abolishing the debt ceiling. Look, you may not like to hear what I'm about to say, but the Fed got their guy. You got what you think is your guy. The Fed got the guy they wanted because they needed an ally to sit behind the resolution. I told you, whoever was selected, we would know who the bigger traitor was. There you go. You don't like it? I'm sorry. You don't have to listen, but you really should start paying attention to what's going on. We're going to see negative rates here. They're probably going to wipe out the economy. I've been warning about a severe downturn in the economy since how long? What are they going to tell you? We're going to go negative. This guy, during his last tenure, called the Fed boneheads for not going negative. Now he wants to abolish the debt ceiling to allow unfettered access to hyper-ballooning the debt. Do you see what I'm talking about? This whole nonsense about cutting government spending, we need Elon Musk, the czar. Let me tell you what this is really about. Cutting spending from here, they're going to broadcast this to your face like it's the greatest thing in the world, but you're going to see debts and deficits hyperballoon. It's a shell game. Take cash from here and put it there. Take cash from here and put it there. Debts and deficits are going to hyperballoon beyond your wildest nightmares. And here's the guy who's going to help it happen, just in case you were wondering. And if you think I'm wrong, save the video and let's come back here so we can laugh together. We can still remain friends, but I'm telling you what's going to happen. The setup is too simple. Now, again, do you think, I just want a consensus on this. Today, June of this year, they told you what they were going to do. Do you really believe this is a coincidence here? Just happens to be. This thing with polio has got me worked up a little bit. I am not lying. Trump is a big believer. And in case you don't know, there's new, I can't say it, being developed for it. So you can see the writing on the wall. Let's see what happens 6 months from now. That was 6 months when they announced it. Now we're hearing polio. Okay. Knew these in the works. You know what they're going to do. You know it already. And they won't need to mandate a thing. Nothing. Just so you know. Now, anyway, let's talk about, before we do that, let me show you this. This is the market today, basically flat across the board. Nothing major going on over there. Gold, silver, crude, under pressure. Crypto, under pressure. Actually, it's a little worse than that towards the end. And the MMRI continues to rise. Now, I want to show you something here. And I know it because I just saw Hangman, whatever he is. Greg is bearish. Really? If someone is not in the market at all, which I am not, does that make you bearish? It means you're neutral. Duh. If I were bearish on this market, believe it or not, I'm not bearish. I'm neutral. I want to see what the Fed's going to do. Is the Fed going to jump in here and start buying epic sums of debt to suppress the 10-year yield? Is the Fed going to get in here and do a combination of that and start to buy large? I'll get back into this market. I told you already. I'm just taking a little breather here. When you are not in the market, if you're a regular guy, if you're John Smith walking the street and you have no exposure to the stock market, you're not a bull. You're not a bear. You're neutral. Now, the funny thing is, this is what I'm saying. Everyone keeps saying Greg is bearish. I'm not bearish. Where do you guys conjure up this stuff? I'm neutral. What I may do, and I will tell all of you if I decide to do this, I'm looking to generate some income from the market. How you do this simply and effectively with very low risk is by selling calls. Selling calls means you're not necessarily, you can sell way out of the money calls. You don't have to be very bearish or right calls. And just expect that the market maybe is going to malinger around. You can get out of these things before you see them go the wrong way. But this is a nice way to generate cash flow for yourself. I personally, look, man, we got the holidays coming up. I'm going away, by the way. So Friday is going to be my last video for several days. We'll talk about it tomorrow. When I come back, I'm going to evaluate whether or not I'm going to start doing this. And there's so many ways to structure options plays to take advantage of the market here. Anyway, so look, I just want you to forget about the bear here, but how this Treasury market dynamic could lead stocks even lower. Do you see what I'm talking about? They're paying attention. Wall Street is paying attention. The Federal Reserve is paying attention. So anyway, just so you know, we could all go back to sheep now. Go back to sheep. The economy was even stronger than it looked, according to GDP. Strip out government spending alone, and GDP is negative. But they won't tell you that. Yesterday, Wall Street fear gauge, the VIX, saw its second biggest spike ever in history. Now, let me show you this real quick. This is interesting. Treasury yield curve steepens. Now, this is a good thing. Believe it or not. Yes, the yield curve normalizing is a good thing, but I'll tell you what's not a good thing. Since June of this year, and I told you when it was going on, the Federal Reserve started to institute yield curve control, manipulation of the yield curve, buying one part of it, selling another part to fake it, to fake a normal curve. We have been we just came out of the longest inverted yield curve in history. And what did the market do? Skyrocketed on the back of it. Anyway, look, this is the MMRI. Actually, it's higher than that towards the end of the day. This is an incredible spike here, man. I have to say this. I am not a bear. I am not a bull. I am neutral because I'm out of the market. Clemente, thank you. You got it. Are we on Greg's brother Mannarino? I don't have a brother, but I wish I did have a brother. Maybe you want to be my brother? Why was the message retracted? Was there something silly? Don't do this stuff, man. Come on. Keep it real. All right. We're a big family. We get along here. Anyway, we need to watch this and you won't know that, people. I think we're pretty much on the same page. So anyway, look, man, we know for a fact they're going to conjure up whatever they're going to conjure up, and they're going to use it, a fear tactic. They're going to make you afraid of it, paralyze you, keep you like a deer in the freaking headlights, and then tell you we got to spend on this, that, and the other thing. I personally think Trump's idea, and this is not just his idea, this has been going on forever. He just happens to be the president-select talking about doing this with his, 3-6 sign. He does this all the time. Maybe you need to pay attention to that too. He did choose Elon Musk, but it was just a costume, right? They're not on the other side. They're on your side? Sure they are. But just be ready for what is going to happen. Massive debt expansion on a scale you're not going to believe. Again, cut government spending here only to use those funds to pay off ballooning debt and deficits. It's a shell game. They're setting you up for a shell game. Doge, you couldn't make that up if you tried to. But I know some of you think this is it. This is really, this is it. This is still gonna be saved. You're being thrust into a shell game. You have no idea what's coming. Jonathan, thank you. I appreciate it. 1929, dude. I wish it was going to be 1929. The fact of the matter is, this market is so distorted from reality, man. It's going to make every crash before it combined look like child's play, like freaking child's play. So again, man, look, I don't like what I'm seeing with crypto here to a certain degree, but we should expect it. We're going to see some volatility in the crypto space. If Bitcoin hits 92, which I said yesterday or early this morning, I might consider getting in here, or maybe I'll just sit back and watch. I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. Whatever I decide to do, if I'm going to sell options onto the market, whatever I do, buy more Bitcoin, I have no intention of dumping my crypto spaces right now. We understand how this is eventually going to play out. Debt market meltdown will destroy the stock markets around the world on a scale you won't even believe. Cash is at that point here. Again, cash doesn't fly away to money heaven. It's going to move into other assets. I believe it's going to go into cryptocurrencies. I believe it's going to go into gold, silver, commodities across the board. It's pretty simple to understand. Clemente, thank you so much. But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out moving forward. I kind of like not having to think about this a little bit, especially with the holidays coming. I don't want to worry about this, thinking about the market at all. It's just out. You know, I said I'm neutral right now, but I love hearing, oh, Greg is bearish now. Bearish, really? If I were bearish, I'd be shorting the market. Duh. Can I get a duh? Duh. Duh, duh, duh. I'm not shorting nothing. If I do short the market, my lions out here, you guys and girls, and my lionesses, you're going to be the first to know. All right, guys and girls, we covered a lot here today. You know, let me just say one more thing. Going back to this. Central bank's power resides in just one thing. One. If we can pull that power away from them, we could win overnight. How we win is by stopping them, preventing them from issuing $1 single of debt, allowing our representatives to do anything they want. Without question, allow the Fed to have unfettered access to do whatever it wants and inflate. You know who's the best friend of the Federal Reserve right now, don't you? Why we're being bridged into a new system right now? You understand? You see why the selection played out the way that it did? Maybe you guys and girls need to wake up or go back to sheep. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. Watch how this is going to play out. Are we there? All right, guys and girls, listen. That's going to be it for today. I really can't even take any questions. I apologize for that. I got to get out of here. I want to be in the staging lanes in less than an hour from the time I am doing this video blog. With that said, people, don't forget this. I will see you later. No, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Guys, love you all from the heart. I mean it with all I got. All right. I'm ghoulish now. I like that. I love you guys. I love all of you. You're so amazing. Every single one of you. Thank you. By the way, you want to see some races? I have an Instagram account. Check it out. There's a link down here. I will post later. I'm trying to get my car dialed in. A whole new setup. It ain't easy. So that's it, guys and girls. All right. Love you all. Let me know what you think about this mask mandate. This millions of new that are going to be available. Just because they didn't know that we were going to have a state of emergency, but now we got one. We knew this, man. They tell you first what they're going to do. Right, I'm out of here. I really got to go. I'll see you in the morning, okay? People, until we meet again, please take care of yourselves and each other.